Hi, Tiger. What's going on? Do you want to be part of the thing?
We didn't have a lot to say, and it would be kind of funny to be like, and then they realized they had nothing to say, but like a bunch of old men, they kept going, and then they watched the movie.
We're going to actually talk about a movie review of the Betty Blowtorch movie.
So Betty Blowtorch?
Yep.
Betty Blowtorch. On Bill's recommendation, we all watched this movie.
I kept waiting for it to
never
get
watch
dark.
another one.
You build it as it's really dark and messed up.
No, I didn't. There was one I came across. You mentioned, Danny, back in the early days of Netflix streaming, when there were tons of documentaries. Did you ever see the Betty Blowtorch and Her Amazing Adventures or something like that?
Oh no, I never
Betty
saw that.
Blowtorch and Her Amazing Life Adventures. You should check that out. It's really good. It's a documentary. This band Betty Blowtorch it's an all-girl band. It's kind of from the ashes of the band Butt Trumpet.
Okay.
Which was an old West Coast punk band, I guess. But the bass player and guitar player, when that band folded or they left it or whatever, they started this new band, Betty Blowtorch, and got another guitar player and a drummer. And they're doing a documentary of the band and like out on tour. And I don't want to give you any spoilers, but like it becomes more than a documentary. Like events happen while they're out on tour. You're like, holy shit. So I don't want to give it away in any spoilers, because when I saw it, I knew nothing about it, and I'm watching, I'm like, oh, this is pretty good. They're a pretty cool band, and whatever. And then I got like 2/3 through the movie or 3/4 of the way through the movie. I'm like, oh.
Oh yeah, I know. But he was responding. I mean, yeah.
I knew about Butt Trumpet, and I knew about that song, and I made that comment when I was at Dan's house, was that it seemed that those two girls were lying through their teeth. The drummer and the rhythm guitar player, they seemed to always be together in the interviews.
Yeah.
And it just seemed like, okay, they tossed the one guy out of the band right as the song that the girl sang got popular. And then suddenly he's like, well, we don't need him anymore. And then...
Yeah.
But he was the guy writing the songs. Because after that, it's like, here comes Duff McKagan, here comes Vanilla Ice. Like,
yeah, right.
At some point they approach Steve Jones and he's willing to sell them songs. Like, there was no songwriter in the entire band.
And Grundy and I were saying this too. They're good. Like their musicianship is good, but their lyrics and their songs are bad. Like they're just sort of like, like, yeah, okay.
I mean, there's a lot like their anthem song that opened up the whole fucking movie. It was just like, can we like be a little bit more like? I was like, no wonder Charlie's like in tears on the couch, going like, "What did I sign up for?"
They were all terrible people. Like they just all came off as like terrible.
Typical LA wannabe jerkholes.
Bill, what about this movie stuck with
you? Scraping away the music, which I didn't really even give a whole lot of mind to.
Right.
It was everything that you're saying that you didn't like about it that I found interesting.
So Bill likes watching train wrecks.
I understand. I understand.
And the rest of us were all like, yeah, I wouldn't last a week in the van with these fuckers.
Well, I don't think Bill would either. It's just he was more fascinated by the fact that he wouldn't last.
The dysfunctionality of it all, and you kind of, I don't know what this conversation with other folks from the past about like my taste, my weirdness and what I like in movies. Like, what was that movie? Definitely not a music movie. It was that just two women, a mother and a daughter, lived on Long Island, and they were related somehow to Jackie Kennedy. Grey Havens,
Grey Gardens.
Grey Gardens. And then there was another movie about like this family in like the backwoods of West Virginia or something. And it's like, I just like tales of squalor, like American squalor, like people just living and doing the
like
weirdest
the Fabulous
shit.
Whites of West Virginia.
Yeah, something like that. And not that this Betty Blowtorch movie was anything like that as far as squalor goes, but just the dysfunctionality of like people in a relationship that just fascinates me. And this by any means wasn't the greatest movie of all time, as you know, you guys also seem to agree with, but I think I appreciated it more for that aspect of it, scraping away the music and stuff like that.
Just as a story.
So that's
about
the
people.
problem. I see. I was trying to take it seriously. Like I was like, all right, we're gonna watch this movie. It's a documentary. Like I go into a documentary with like this idea of like, you know, it's gonna open a window to another world or
Well,
something.
that's the thing. Is I swore
And then I'm like,
that
oh
you
fuck, I know these
advocated
people
for it
and I
as
hate them.
transformative in some way. I would have sworn on a stack of Bibles that you were like, no, man, you really got to see this movie and it'll blow you away.
No.
It's like I just kept waiting to be blown.
Sorry that I came away, or that my recommendation came off that way. Now the Forbidden Zone, on the other hand,
That I do want to see.
that's
You
transformative.
didn't take it, Charlie, when you were at my house, did you?
I don't have a DVD player.
Oh, okay.
I
Well, you
mean,
have
I
to come
guess it
over
could
for
play
another
on
viewing
here.
party.
It could play on my computer now that I think of it. I just don't play anything on here.
It doesn't play on Max.
There was a point for me, like after they did all the butt trumpet stuff, and you know, I was just like, what is going on? Butt trumpet? I don't remember them. What the fuck? This guy's an asshole. Fuck all these people. And then it was like, when they were like in the studio, and some of the tracks that they were playing, I was like, you know, this isn't too bad. But it was also it's like it was like the L7 derivative, you know. It's like, let's take L7 and just make it like kind of generic. But some of their songs were just like fucking whoa, yeah. That's like that's.
And then the girl from L7 joins the band.
Yeah.
And they immediately sound better.
I know they picked up one from Nashville Pussy and the other one was from L7.
Yeah.
Jennifer Finch is from L7.
They actually sounded better when they replaced those two members.
The guy who stood out the most was, I think he's the first guy you see, the boyfriend of her, who like taught her to play bass. I thought he was going to chew his tongue off. He's on so much meth. So many guys like that.
Did you guys look at the extras on the DVD? Because you know, I guess I finished it today. I had to stop watching it because I was just like, I've hit maximum saturation with this movie. I can't watch it anymore. So I watched the rest of it today, and then I was just like, what? And then I was watching the extras. I was like, these people are all uniformly horrible.
They are.
But
I'm not rooting for anybody in that.
The boyfriend was
movie.
just like, what?
I couldn't get that DVD back to Netflix fast enough.
Right, they're all supposed to be like this hard edge punk band that takes no shit.
Well, I think that's
they don't.
It's like they weren't a punk band at all.
Right, but then it's like,
yeah,
hey, Vanilla Ice is next door. Like, ooh, why would you care? Like, who cares if Vanilla Ice is next door?
I don't think that they were like, let's go meet the famous person. I think they were kind of like slagging him.
Well, they got him to be on the album.
I know. How ironic is that? And how
that wasn't my interpretation at all. My interpretation was like they were starstruck.
No. I had the exact opposite, that it was just a big lark for them.
My favorite
like-
part is that weird public access TV show that they're on, that they're getting interviewed by that guy. And he's like, just like, he's like the
that's-
fucking craziest shit.
Think
Like
about the
nobody could
beautiful-
make that up. Like it was insane. Like, and they're looking at him like I thought they were gonna kick his ass. Like,
I don't remember this. What was it?
God.
I wish I would have watched it again.
I am an unreliable witness.
What's it like when you guys are the traffic?
Oh
Yeah, that
man,
public access thing, I was just that like at the end of that, I was like, I need to take a break.
that was my favorite part of the whole movie. Like I could have watched that all night.
That's the thing. I wanted to see other episodes of that show.
Yes, absolutely. I need to know what it was called.
Me too. I bet you can find it.
I knew we were in trouble when they're playing their awful anthem and it comes on the screen. It's like a film by, Joey Schmuckenstein or whatever it was. And I was like, anytime it says a film by, it's just like,
Joe
it's going to be a turd. It's going to be kicking a hot turd, a fresh turd on a hot day.
Journey. A Joe Montserrat's journey.
Yeah.
And they threw a bag of shit at DI's tour van, right, in retaliation for
Something like that.
what they thought was them throwing pee, and it turned out to be Gatorade.
Yeah. I didn't even think DI was a thing. DI was on my
On your honorable mentions.
Well,
for that
early
show we're doing next
2000s, like
week?
I think early 2000s, that's when the bands from the 80s like started figuring out they can hit the road
Tummy.
again and cash in a little
Can
bit.
someone rub my tummy too? Everyone else is having their tummy rubbed. I want my tummy. Okay, Betty Blowtorch.
Yeah, I'm running low on battery.
Yeah. That was a waste of perfectly good plastic, man.